Okay, welcome to Razgriz Technical Gaming. My name is Barracuse, and I'm going to show you how you can download our RTG mod collections. I'm going to show you two different ways to get our mod collections. You can get them through Play with 6, or you can get them through Arma Sync. I'll show you Play with 6 first, and then Arma Sync second. So basically what we do is we're going to launch Play with 6. I'm not going to go through the steps on downloading it. You just go to Google, type Play with 6, go with, I think the website is www.with6.com. Download it, install it, get yourself a login, and then set it up. When you launch it as administrator mode. Play with 6 has some issues with writing to your file system. It needs administrative rights to do that. Sometimes it'll throw up an error right here because it doesn't have those rights. When you get it, first thing you do is you'll launch your mod collection, come up. It'll connect to the Play with 6 servers over there. And once it does that, it'll check your mod collection and do any updates like you see down here, this big update collection thing. So it's saying right now the yellow button is telling me that there's some collection, so I can hit update here and start updating here. If you want to know what mods it's trying to collect, you can click on this, and this right here is a TFA mod. This is a uniform mod, and it looks like an update must have came out, and it's starting to try to access it now and update it. Okay, so now we're back at our screen again. You notice that I'm logged in. I got a green bar here, which means this mod is updated. Everything is good to go. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to go through a couple things that you should do before you do anything else. Is go to your options, go to settings. Well, first, let's go back. Go to options and check for updates. Make sure that the version of Play with 6 you downloaded is the latest and greatest. So this year was released November 2nd. So this is their latest and greatest, which I'm surprised. Usually they release one about every 2 weeks, but well, I guess it's longer than that. So what we do is you check for updates. Then go to options, go to settings, go to game settings. This stuff here you really don't have to mess with. You can look at it, but this is beyond the scope of this video right now. So we'll go over here to game settings. And game settings, we're going to go ahead and some things you want to change here. These are additional mods. If you have additional mods you want to load, I never used this, but you want to point this to that path. These are mods that maybe you use that are client-side mods that this server doesn't use. A good example is TAO fold map, TIO's fold map. I can never pronounce that right, but it's actually a kneeboard map that you can open up with the Shift M, and it brings up a nice. He's actually updated it. It used to be just a fold-up map, but now it's like an iPad, and it gives a small map of where you're going. It's great for pilots. Some of your Shack Tac stuff, things like that, you can throw in here. But what I'm going to focus on is this right here, your game directory. This will point to your Arma 3 game directory. This is where your armor.exe sits. I moved mine to a separate drive. All my Steam games are on a separate drive. I got a solid state, so I try to keep, limit how much I install on my C drive. Mod directory. By default, this will point to your Armor directory. I don't like shoving all my mods in the Armor directory. I like to keep that kind of neat and tidy there. So what I'll do is I'll make a separate directory and throw those in there. And then basically my sync directory is just a sync in my mod directory. So make sure you have that set up. And once you have that set up, you want to make sure you got the right game selected. You'll see this banner over here. You want to make sure you got your mod selected, and this is how I can tell this is my active mod, because my active mod will show up right here. So if I was to go over here to my collections, do right click and go to activate collection, you'll notice over here this changed. So you want to make sure the mod collection you're using is in boldface print. It's activated. That means it's activated, and the banner shows up over here. So a little thing, a couple things here I'll show you about this is that one nice feature I like with Play with 6 is that you can roll back your versions. If you get a mod that came out and it's not playing nice with other mods, you can roll back the version. There was an issue with MCC Sandbox that prevented you from throwing hand grenades, and this came in handy very well because you're able to roll that back. It's been fixed since then though. So anyway, you come over here and select a different version. It'll automatically roll it back, update it, does all that stuff automatically. So we'll come down here to our mod collection. I want to show you this. This is all the mods that are on my computer, 60 more of them. You do a right click and you can show and explore. And this will bring up your little Explorer window and show all the mods in that, which is pretty nice. Now, another thing too is that from here you can edit this location. You notice this pops up automatically and allows you to edit that location. Once you subscribe to this, and we'll go through that right now, we'll click on the home button here. So when you bring up Play with 6, first thing you want to do is, once you set your settings, click your home button here. Go over here to collections, type RTG. It'll be the first thing that pops up. You click on this. You see our little banner pop up, and it gives a little information about it. And once you click on that page, it tells you who's the author, which is yours truly. And this big green button will say subscribe. Once you subscribe to this, the minute you subscribe to it, you'll notice that this will change and start updating. Okay, once it starts updating, it'll create this folder automatically, and wait about 4 hours before you get everything, because this is an intense collection. I think it's about 18 gigs, so, and that's basically 10 gigs of maps. And that'll take you roughly, I don't know, depending on your connection, a couple hours to download. And that's pretty much it with Play with 6. When you want to play the game, also, before I go with this, I want to note that if you have TeamSpeak installed, if this uploads Task Force Radio, it'll automatically dump the files into Task Force Radio. You don't have to do anything. It'll automatically place those DLL files right in there. And then once you do that, launch your Task Force Radio in administrative mode, and you may or may not have to go to, not Task Force Radio, I'm sorry, your TeamSpeak. It'll dump those DLL files right into your TeamSpeak. When you launch TeamSpeak into admin mode, you may have to go to your setup and plugins directory and enable those. Sometimes I've heard some people have to do it, sometimes you don't. Once you have this selected right here, you hit launch and boom, Arma will come right up. And we'll do that right now just to show you. Nice things too is you can make a desktop shortcut right here. You see this? And you can drag this right onto your desktop and just click that, and boom, it'll launch right up. It'll update and launch and put you right into the game automatically. Sometimes you'll get these. This is because of the SMA logo mod. For some reason, there's no PAA, and that's an image file that would show down here. And because I guess the developer didn't put one in, it doesn't show up. So if you look down here, and you'll notice all the mods are up, and they will highlight. Here's your MCC. Here's a couple other ones. And there's one here for, I think this is the SMA. There's one here that'll be blank, and that's usually the SMA one. That's it. And then you just go to play, go to multiplayer. And there's Razgriz right there. And just click on that and jump right in. You can play. Okay, the next mod that I'm going to show you, it's not mod, but the next application that allow you to get the RTG collection is called Arma Sync. A lot of people like this. I guess a lot of communities out there use it. When you launch this, the first thing you got to do is set your directory where your mods are going to go. You hit this you go to your add-on options, hit this little plus sign right here, and that'll point right to your directory. Just for demonstration purposes, I got this going to a blank directory called FTP mods. So what we're going to do here is we'll go over here to repositories and we're going to hit the plus sign right there. And once you hit that plus sign, you'll notice this menu comes up, this new repository. And what you're going to do here is you're going to paste this string right in here, which is the FTP server IP number. And this will be located in the description down below. This here is an automatic configuration. Basically what this will do, this will fill in all this information down here. So you hit import. This goes out to our FTP server. It finds the name of the mod collection. Notice in this case here I put the date, so this is good for the December 2014. And it fills in the login and the password, port number and IP number. All this stuff is automatically put in. So we hit OK. It'll go out there, fetch it, and you want to click on this notify. This will let you know if any changes were made to that mod collection. That's what that notify tick is for. So you're going to hit this little icon here that looks like a door and click on that. It connects to the repository. Once it connects to this right here, your default destination folder will come up, and this is created over here in your add-on options. If you remember correctly, we set that up before. And if this is empty, that means you didn't set it up. If there's nothing in this drop down, that means you didn't do that step. So what we're going to do is we're going to check for add-ons. So we'll hit this little checkbox. This will go out to the FTP server, and boom, just like lightning, it fills up this box. These are all of our mods. Now what's nice about using this, say you're a hardcore Arma guy and you got probably most of our mods anyway, right? So basically what this will do is the ones that we use that you don't have will be in red. The ones that are in black are the ones that you have, obviously. And there'll be some that need to be updated. It'll actually check if the ones we have in our FTP are more current than the ones you're using. And it'll actually give a little symbol over here. So with that said, I mean, say for example, you got most of these and the only thing you need is like, say, well, we'll say the beard mod. That's it. That's all you need. You just check that and boom, that's the only thing it will download. You can also open these up and you can just grab, like say for example, you can grab the keys folder, grab the add-on, or you can just grab individual files in here, which is nice. What we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and just to show how quick this works, and I'm not going to select all these because this takes forever to download. We're just going to grab the HLC mods, right? Just so I can show you how this works. What you would do though is you would hit the select all button and get all these. We're not going to do that. I'll go back and click these again. Click all these. A lot of HLC. We like all the HLC mods. Okay, so we got all these selected. We're going to go over here and hit the play button. And it's going to start fetching those mods. What's great about this too is that you can actually pause this download. So if I hit pause, you notice everything just stops for a second, but we could just restart this again. And boom, it just picks right up where it left off at, which is nice. And through the power of video, we're able to automatically fast forward this down. Right, download finish. So a couple things we could do. You could click on this advanced, I want to go over this advanced configuration. This here allows you, basically, tell you the truth, it does the same thing as clicking these boxes off. I'm not really sure why they did all this. You can select the folder here. So if we go up here and hit this check box now, you'll notice that it'll go out, it'll verify, and now it says down here, you see these black mods? It says okay, this says that we already have these on our system, but the red ones we don't have. So we need to download these red ones. So that's the cool thing about it. If you happen to have a boatload of mods, I've talked to some people that have over 125 mods on their computer already. Chances are you may have most of these mods that we run. Another thing I want to mention is the online. Up here you'll find that this is automatically populated with the autoconfig. This will be our server, our IP number, and a port number. And it gives you an idea what mods are required for that. Public server, we just require Task Force Radio, CSC, and Alive pretty much. But a lot of people use TFA and TYRK, I think, which is a uniform mod, and they use the HLCs too. So if you get on a server, you see a bunch of people walking around in their underwear carrying no weapon, chances are they have those mods and you don't. So it would make your game a little better if you download those mods, because you won't be able to hear them shoot. Okay, so that's pretty much it. That's the Arma Sync. You can download this from Armaholic. Best way to find this is just do Arma Sync Armaholic at Google. Search on those two words, because if you try using Armaholic's search function, it will drive you crazy. So this is Barracuse for Razgriz Tactical Gaming, and this is how you get our mod pack. Hope to see you in game, and you can find me on Twitter at Barracuse, and I'll see you on the field. Thanks.